Hi, it's Mrs. Santa Rosa here to offer you help on question number 8 for day 4. In this question, they ask us to dilate this line, y equals 2x minus 4, by a scale factor of 3/2. And also what's important here is that the center of dilation is the origin. After we dilate it by that scale factor, we then want to write the equation that represents the image of the line after the dilation. So the first thing I'm going to do is start by graphing our line, just so you can see. Y-intercept is at -4 and the slope is 2, so I will rise 2 and run 1 to the right, rise 2, run 1 to the right, and one more time before I get my line tool and connect those points. And there is y equals 2x minus 4. Now what we want to do is we want to dilate by a scale factor of 3/2. So in terms of thinking about the dilation rule when you're at the origin, the dilation rule is simply to multiply each of the coordinates, the x and the y coordinates, by your scale factor. Well, I have several points on my line. So if I were to take those points and put them in a table just so you could see what they were, we would have the y-intercept at 0, -4. We would have this point here at 1, -2. We would have this point here at 2, 0. And we would have this point here at 3, 2. Now, 2 points determine a line, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick this point here and this point here, and I'm going to multiply by the scale factor. So obviously when I multiply 0 by 3/2, it remains 0. When I multiply -4 by 3/2, -4 times 3/2, I get -12 over 2, which is -6. So that's going to be our new point. Now let's do this point and multiply by 3/2. So when I take 3/2 and I multiply it by the x coordinate of 2, these will cancel. So my next point will be 3. And then of course 0 times 3/2 stays 0. Now let me pick a new color and plot these points. So 0, -6. Well, there's -4, -5, -6. And then of course 3, 0. 1, 2, 3, 0. And now I have the 2 points that determine my line. So I'm going to color this line red so it matches with my points. And here is the line. And I'm going to have to fix that to get it through the points a little bit better. Okay, so here's one thing that you need to pay attention to. Number one, these two lines are absolutely parallel. So because they're parallel, they're going to have equal slopes. So I already know the slope of my new line. It's going to be the same as this slope of the original. So the slope is 2. So slope is 2. However, you can see that my red dilated line is farther away from the origin than my original black line. That's because it's been dilated by a scale factor of 3/2, so it should move farther away from the origin because the scale factor is greater than 1. My new y-intercept is -6. Now, think about this. The original scale factor, or excuse me, the original y-intercept was -4. And when you multiply it by that scale factor of 3/2, you get that -12 over 2, which is -6. So, in the end, when they ask you for the equation of the line that represents the image after the dilation, you're going to use the exact same slope as what you started with, so y equals 2, and then of course times x, but you're going to use the new y-intercept that you get after multiplying by the scale factor of 3/2, so in this case, -6. And there is the equation of our line.